So, I'm gonna preface the video by saying that I've played Smite for 4.5 years now. Hell, I remember when Asura came out and everybody lost their minds because there was an actually good assassin at this point, because Arachne had the hell nerfed out of her. I played primarily on PC because that was the only platform available at this time. I played really frequently up until about 2014, and I sort of lost interest in the game. I didn't have any friends to play with, that sort of thing, whatever. About 6 months ago, I realized that they had released the console version of it on PS4. So I picked it up and I started playing it, and I sort of got into it, but not really, because I haven't played the game in 2 years, even though I've followed the game. Like, I followed every God release, and I followed some of the changes that happened. I watched, like, all of Drybear's content, that sort of thing, right? Well, recently I've had a lot of time on my hands, and I've gotten back into the Smite community. So, first off, I'm going to say that playing on PS4 is the absolute worst thing you could do if you want to enjoy the Smite game. I haven't had much problems with the controls, actually. The controls feel about as fluid as you would expect a MOBA on the console to be. If not slightly more, because Hi-Rez sort of knows what they're doing in terms of gameplay. But I've noticed a lot of interesting things that I don't remember seeing on PC. And again, I haven't played the PC in about 2 years. I haven't played Season 3 on PC. I don't know how it fared with the community, right? But I have played it on PS4. And some of the observations I've noticed, well, one big one is that the skill gap doesn't appear to be as large as I would like it to. And by that I mean that I'm like level 20, I think, at this point. My account level is 20. And you would expect me to be paired with similarly skilled players. Now, a little bit of backstory here. On PC, I've actually had to level up 2 accounts to level 30. The first account, I bought the God Pack in, and I also got banned, but that's a different video. Then I had to level up again to level 30, and that was around the time that I stopped playing. So I have a decent amount of experience in the game. I felt really bad at the early stages because I was smurfing really hard. I would get like 30, sometimes 40 kills in a single game. And I felt really bad about it, but I figured, hey, as my account level goes up, this'll pass. The players will get better and better, right? It is not the case. I've had to deal with people not getting items. I've had to deal with people literally staying in the jungle the entire game. Whoops. No, I don't want to be here. No, I don't want to be here. Wow, thanks guys. Thanks for going with the jungle buff. Did you just take my mana buff? Alright, Ratatasker, ready for you to feed again. The fucking Willick. Mine. Oh, fuck you, Ratatasker. You're always taking my buffs. I can't believe we lost at such a strong fucking start, too. Because that fucking Ratatasker was never in lane. I've had to deal with people attacking Fire Giant by themselves at level 9. And I've had to deal with people who insta-lock the hell out of a single god. Like, I've seen the same username and the same person play the same god like 10 matches in a row. I seem to like play the same game mode, and whenever I see them, they're only playing Loki, or they're only playing Fenrir. You would imagine that this type of shit would be rooted out as the game level goes up. I later figured out that Smite has a very interesting way to handle the matchmaking. They use a modified version of the true skill system. And I could read quotes off the article or whatever, or the fact that they've provided on their website or whatever. But the total gist is that as you play, you have 2 gauges. Your MMR, or your matchmaking rating, which is your skill level. It's how well you perform in each match. And your other gauge is your variance, which is about how confident the system is in placing you in MMR ratings. So as you play more and more and the game system collects data on you, your variance goes down because it's more and more confident of how well you'll do in matches. This seems really cool, and I'm sure a lot of MOBAs do this, but at least in my PS4 experience. In PC, I didn't have a problem with bad players. In PC, ranked matches went really well. I was paired with players that were really skilled. And even in unranked, was paired with a lot of people that I appreciated, that they knew what they were doing, even at level 30. PS4 is a different story. In PS4, I'm at level 20 and I'm still getting players again who play an entire team of assassins. Hell, today I got a team of 3 mages. Like, the things that are making a player good are being rooted out. And I'm sure that a small fraction of this is being noticed on PC, that players are getting worse and worse. And the reason you see this is obvious. Smite's becoming more widespread. Back when I played, I saw the same 30 people in every single game. So the game is becoming more and more generalized. People are being able to see the gameplay as it's being refined and more gods are being added, and Hi-Rez is refining their gameplay. That's good. That's how a multiplayer game should be. But the issue becomes, the opposite of this becomes when too many people are playing the game that shouldn't be playing the game. A lot of people who are playing the game nowadays aren't competitive. They're not in a competitive aspect. You have people who say, oh, it's just a game. Or, hey, don't get too butthurt about this. Once you turn off the game is over. This argument pisses me the hell off every single time I hear this. Do these people not know what the hell passion is? Are they okay saying to their fiance or wife or whatever, oh, it's just a car, it gets you to A to B, it doesn't need to look nice. Or, hey, our living room has a giant pile of dog shit in the middle of it. It's a living room, though. I mean, we can walk through it, we can sit down in it, the dog shit isn't affecting anything, right? It's a totally flawed argument. Yes, people shouldn't get too butthurt about a game, but I'm passionate about this game. I think that at level 20, the players that are bad and feed on purpose and steal jungle buffs from me should have been rooted out by now. And whatever Smite's matchmaking system is doing, it's not doing it well. Because, and I'll tell you from first-hand experience, most of the games I play, the queue times are less than 30 seconds. So the game system obviously thinks that my MMR is similar to other shitty players. And I'll tell you this is not the case. I played a conquest game the other day, and I was the only person who chose a mage. There were 3 assassins and a hunter, no tank at all. And I was in my middle lane, because I'm like, okay, in conquest, the mage goes in the middle lane, they're a solo farm, they know what they're doing. They're supposed to get buffed. I had the stupid hunter come into my lane like every 10 seconds trying to steal my lane off. Because they couldn't sit in their own lane because they're getting ganked by a Sun Wukong. Like, I'm the only person, it seems, that in my experience, that knows how to play the game. I've yet to come across a very skilled, competent player. Maybe this will change when I hit level 30. Maybe this will change when I start playing ranked matches. So I'm going to get back onto the point. It's very easy for me to sit here and criticize what Hi-Rez is doing and why their game doesn't work the way it should. At least on PS4. Again, I haven't played Season 3 on PC. I don't have a computer good enough to record myself doing it. I mean, I could play it and see how it is, but I'd rather record the experience in case something interesting happens. Or I make friends and I can play with them. So, what I think that Hi-Rez should do, there's 2 things that they need to work on. One is the balance system. They're creating gods like Kumbhakarna. They're creating gods that aren't very good. Like Amaterasu and Chiron are not very good gods. They're not doing... There's something about them. Like, their kit seems fine enough to me. I think that it's odd that Chiron can heal himself as a passive or whatever. And his ult feels like a ripoff of every other ult in the game. But they seem like their kits are different enough that they work. They just need to have their damage tweaked a little bit. The issue comes with people like Kumbhakarna. Now, before I even touch on Kumbhakarna, Smite needs to realize that their warrior class of gods don't feel like warriors. A warrior, in my mind, is an assassin guardian hybrid. A person who can deal a bit of damage, but also take a bit of damage. And these are gods like Odin, and these are gods like Sun Wukong, right? And Erling Sheng. Don't even get me started on Erling Sheng. You have gods like that, but Odin... I've seen Odin leap into a group of 5 people in Conquest, kill a mage on leap, and then explode, kill an assassin, twirl around, kill a hunter, and then just activate beads and sprint and just run all the way down the lane. We can't do anything to him. Like, your warriors are doing too much damage and they're still tanky. Like, that Odin was building Sovereignty and Heartward Amulet. He shouldn't have been able to two-shot all 3 of our damage dealers on our team. People like that are absurd. Now, we're going to touch on Kumbhakarna. Kumbhakarna is passive. You would assume that makes him a really good tank. He basically can die and get brought back to life unless people focus him down. You shouldn't focus on a tank in competitive play. If you're thinking about it, a tank's main role is to get aggro almost. Except you're dealing with human players, so you can't control aggro except if you get in their face and deal with them. Kumbhakarna is really good at that. He has a dash, he has a leap. Well, not a leap, he has like a launch where he like throws people up in the air as ultimate. He has a mesmerize and he has a root. He's very CC heavy. But the thing is, he deals about 3 times more damage than he should. Like, I was a hunter that was a higher level than him, and I still got soloed on a 1v1. Dude. Dude, Scylla, what the fuck? It was absurd. Kumbhakarna's damage needs to be dealt back a little bit. He has like a launch where he launches minions across. Like, he's a very interesting tank. I wouldn't have come up with him myself, oddly enough. But things like that. And then you get to Erlang Sheng. Now, something about high res makes me think that, of course, they make a very beautiful game. I like the art, I like the animations, I like the artistic values that you see in the gods and stuff. But then you come across their balance system. Now, in a patch notes, they're about to release Terra onto the console. They've already released it on PC. I haven't even seen any gameplay, but I don't know how she works. But in the patch notes, Erlang Sheng was the last god released. And they said in the patch notes, and I quote, "Erlang Sheng seems to be in a good place right now." That is completely absurd. Here, watch a compilation of me murdering people.
Oh, baby, a triple!
There can be only one.
It feels to me like Hi-Rez doesn't know how the hell to balance a god. So that's a different subject. Hi-Rez needs to balance gods more. What's new? But the other issue is the punishment. When I played the game 3-4 years ago, it was intimidating to walk down a lane because you never knew if a Loki was going to gank you out of the jungle or not. There was a punishment aspect to it. One of the things that Hi-Rez appears to have done was make actives free. They call them relics, and they provide one to you free of charge at the beginning of the game. You then unlock another one at level 12. This is awful, because then you get moments like this. That would not have happened 3-4 years ago. You shouldn't provide it's Sanctuary now. It used to be called Aegis. You shouldn't provide things like that to a level 1 player. One of the main things that makes Smite so interesting is that a skilled player, if they know what they're doing, they can secure a game victory very early on in the first 5 minutes. Like, I got really good at Assassins, and Assassins are very powerful in games like Conquest and Siege and Clash. You can secure a game very quickly if you know what you're doing, if you're a skilled player. Providing relics like this removes all of the skill here. Players can just activate Sanctuary, say fuck you, and dash down the lane. It's even worse when every god has a dash now, and no god can cripple. Like, I think the only cripple I know off the top of my head is Ares' Shackles. There have been so many moments where gods, like Uller in a game that I played recently, just did nothing but poke me and kill me in 2 or 3 hits and wasn't punished for it. The tower doesn't do nearly enough damage. There was a point where Kumbhakarna was in my tower. Minions were also in my tower radius attacking the tower. I was outside of the tower radius and Kumbhakarna just kept me stunned for like 30 seconds and I couldn't do anything. That's another thing about the actives, that it's a skill-based thing. If I see an Ares on the enemy team, or if I see a Kumbhakarna, I need to get purification beads. I don't know what the hell it's called nowadays. They changed all the actives names. If I see a Nuwa or a Neith, I need to get an Aegis. It's a skill-based thing. You learn that as you play the game. Giving players access to the relics at the beginning of the game removes all semblance of that. They buy a relic that they don't need, like Curse or Sprint, and then they're left defenseless when it comes to Nuwa or Neith, like, two-shotting them. Oh, look, I only have 50 health left, let me escape. Nope, Neith has her ult. Sucks for you. I'm gonna try to get back on point here. The point of the video is that I'm trying to say is that high-res needs to, 1, balance their gods a little better. Because I don't want Terra to be another Kumbhakarna where she can just deal absolutely immense amounts of damage, yet she can just tank. I think she's a Guardian, what I could tell correctly. I don't think she's a War, I think that she's a Guardian. And that they also need to add some kind of punishment for people who overextend too much. I did a game of Anubis the other day, and I got 46 kills in a game. That's unheard of 3 years ago. That would never have happened. You have assassins with dashes and teleports, like Susanoo and Thor, who can just steal jungle buffs. Oh good, there's a Thor here. Oh god, I missed. Really? And then get away with it. I don't know, the game just doesn't feel the same to me as it was. They've changed too much and they've made it too easy for new players. I don't know if ranked on Season 3 is going to be any different, because I'm almost to level 30. It'll take me another couple of weeks to get there. But I really hope that something happens, that they start balancing gods a little bit better. That's all I'm trying to say, okay? I hope you've listened to my rambling for, 14 minutes now? I hope you have a nice day. I'm sorry. Oh god, no. No, Uller! Yeah, you're not gonna get fucking fixed here, sorry. No! What is the... Okay, Cupid. Ugh, I can't even do anything. I want to fucking kill myself, man.
If you're feeling suicidal, you've come to the right place. Because I want to fucking kill myself as well.